My name's Rachel. At this point, after Brandon and I had killed Mario for the fourth time, long story, I started wondering if maybe I was missing out on other haunted game adventures. Why limit myself to one mustachioed, resurrection happy plumber? There's a whole world of cursed pixels out there, and I figured, why not go after some haunted games myself? So, with a sense of reckless curiosity, I packed up my arsenal. Not just the usual stuff, either. I made sure to bring the shotgun, the one I used on Mario. I call it the Mario Killer, and honestly, it's starting to feel like a lucky charm, if you can call a shotgun a charm. I double-checked my bag for extra shells, a flashlight, a handful of salt packets, because you never know, and, feeling a little melodramatic, a silver knife. Brandon just grinned at me when I told him I was heading out. Have fun, he said, like I was going to the movies, not to battle whatever digital horrors might be lurking in haunted game cartridges. I hopped in my car, heart pounding with a mix of nerves and excitement, and drove toward this place I'd heard about on some forum, the kind of place that only pops up in urban legends and Reddit threads. Supposedly, it was packed with haunted Kirby games. I mean, Kirby? The pink puffball? How bad could it be? But, of course, I'd learned not to underestimate anything in this line of, well, let's call it work. The drive felt surreal, like I was moving between reality and some twisted gaming universe. When I finally pulled up, the sign outside was straight out of a nightmare, video games from hell. The letters looked like they'd been painted in dripping red, and the windows were so dark I couldn't see inside. I pushed open the door, and the smell hit me, old plastic, dust, and that weird electric ozone scent you only get from ancient CRTs. Inside, shelves practically buckled under the weight of Kirby games. Every title, every edition, from the classics to obscure Japanese imports. The covers had this weird shimmer, like the ink was alive. It was creepy, but also, I'll admit, kind of awesome. I felt like I'd stumbled into a forbidden library, but instead of books, it was haunted video games. There was a strange energy in the air, like every cartridge was watching me. Suddenly, I heard something behind me, a faint shuffle, just enough to make the hairs on my neck stand up. I spun around, adrenaline spiking. Nothing there. I tried to laugh it off, but the unease lingered. Then, out of nowhere, a dusty TV in the corner flickered on, the screen buzzing with static before it settled on the most bizarre commercial I'd ever seen. Do you have a penis that needs to be sucked? Then you should try our new toy. The voice was way too enthusiastic, and on the screen, some guy waved around a pink Kirby sucker like it was the next big tech breakthrough. I just stared, baffled. Seriously? I don't even have a penis. And who the hell thought a Kirby sex toy was a good idea? I muttered. The whole thing was so surreal, I half expected the TV to start bleeding or something. It was like the store itself was testing how much weirdness I could handle before I'd bolt. Determined to ignore the perverted sales pitch, I drifted toward another old TV, this one looping an ancient Kirby game. It was almost hypnotic, the colors flickering in that way only old games can manage. Is this place trying to get me to play or what? I said to nobody. I hesitated for a second, then shrugged and picked up the controller. The plastic felt oddly warm in my hands. As soon as I pressed start, a deafening crash echoed from the back of the store. It was so loud I actually jumped, almost dropping the controller. Hello? I called, my voice echoing weirdly in the aisles. No answer. I crept toward the source, every step making my heartbeat louder. Then, another crash, this time right behind me. I wheeled around, but it was too late. The TV and console were smashed to pieces, shards of plastic and glass scattered across the floor. I barely had time to process what was happening before I saw it, a demonic Kirby, just standing there in the flickering light. He looked nothing like the adorable character I'd grown up with. His eyes were pure, bottomless black, and he was just still. Not moving, not blinking. The sight of him sent chills down my spine. Something about that stillness was more terrifying than if he'd been lunging at me. I didn't wait for him to make the first move. I yanked out the Mario Killer and started firing. The shots rang out, echoing off the walls, but every bullet just disappeared into the endless void of Kirby's mouth. He was sucking up everything I threw at him, like even the laws of physics didn't matter anymore. It was like fighting a black hole in the shape of a pink balloon. Then, as if to prove my point, Kirby's mouth started stretching wider and wider, far beyond anything that should be possible. The whole store seemed to tilt toward him. Shelves, cartridges, even the air started to be pulled in. I felt my feet leave the ground, panic rising as I realized I was being dragged along with everything else. I tried to grab a shelf, but my fingers slipped. No. This can't be it. I screamed, but the sound got sucked away too. Then came oblivion. Not just darkness, but a kind of nothingness that pressed in from every direction. I felt like I was floating in a void, disoriented, weightless. After what felt like hours, or maybe just seconds, a faint glow appeared in the distance. Moving toward it, I saw these strange, glowing white figures drifting through the black. They seemed familiar and alien at the same time, like echoes of lost players. I tried to talk to them, to ask if they knew how to escape, but they just pointed, silently, toward a glowing red door pulsing in the void. As I got closer, something grabbed me from behind and yanked me through. I landed hard, looking up to see the neighbor from Hello Neighbor. He looked nothing like the menacing figure from the games, just a sad, broken man, his face streaked with tears. Oh great. Neighbor, you too? Serves you right for being such a creep, I snapped, half to keep myself from freaking out, half because I was just done with everyone in these haunted games acting like victims. He sat there bawling, but as soon as I told him to shut up, he did, instantly. Then, with a haunted look, he told me he'd performed some kind of ritual in the store, trying to bring the characters to life for his own twisted reasons. Instead, he'd unleashed something far worse. Kirby had come through, hungry and unstoppable. So it's your fault all the games are haunted? I demanded. He nodded, looking more terrified of me than of Kirby. He pointed to a crude painting on the wall. At first, I thought it was just another weird decoration, but he insisted it was a portal. That leads to Kirby's heart, he said, voice shaking. If you want to save everyone, and yourself, you'll have to destroy it from the inside. I didn't even hesitate. I was so far past the point of caring about consequences, I just dove through the picture. Instantly, I was standing in a grotesque, pulsing chamber. In front of me beat a massive, throbbing heart, like something out of a boss fight, only real. The air was hot and sticky, the wall slick with something that looked like blood. Damn, I forgot to ask the neighbor if he had a weapon, I muttered. But I wasn't going to let that stop me. I attacked with everything I had, fists, nails, teeth. I pounded and tore at the heart, hot blood spraying everywhere. For a moment, it felt like I was fighting the embodiment of every nightmare in every haunted game I'd ever played. But finally, with one last, desperate punch, the heart ripped apart, shuddered, and burst. The next thing I knew, I was sprawled on the floor of the store, gasping for air. Everything was back to normal, or as normal as a place called Video Games from Hell could get. The shelves were charred, the TV's dead. I grabbed some gasoline and a lighter from my bag, always be prepared, right, and doused the shelves. As flames roared up, I snatched a few blackened Kirby games as souvenirs. Let Brandon try to top this story. Driving away, I caught a glimpse of the neighbor, sprinting down the street like he was running from the end of the world. I didn't slow down. I just hit the gas, desperate to put as much distance between myself and that place as possible. When I finally got home, I dumped the burnt Kirby games on the table in front of Brandon and slumped into a chair. So, how was your day? I asked, trying to sound casual. Because this is how mine went. Brandon just stared at me, eyes wide, totally speechless. He knew better than to ask for details, but I could tell he was dying to hear the story. And for once, I was actually looking forward to telling it.